different type of
Day
accountability so that many people where it's needed to go to help the poor in the world, the primary mission of the Catholic Church. He is not identified
new
as
Pope
somebody who is going to take new and bold steps to ensure
to emerge
that
shortly.
the moral
The new Pope,
standard of
Pope of the
Catholicism,
world,
as it is expressed, is secured.
You know, previous generations perhaps gave to their pontiffs. And I'll say that probably the first thing that the new Pope should do is fire Robert Finn.
The first thing that would be good for this Pope to do, beyond the embrace, which is no doubt about to happen, the next order for the Church and for the followers.
Well, I think he has to reaffirm in the minds of the believers that believing in God and following his path is worth giving your life to. In other
so many changes have to come about. In my own prayer, I have gone back over and over again.
Failed. So in these last weeks, there was an
new Pope to be announced shortly.
We're doing the best by church and world in choosing, and that takes place in...
We're talking about general times. And once this, the person who is the Pope has decided that he will take on the job and
try to see.
So there are set spots for them, or they
that's kind of a melee, actually. Okay. They just
Also interesting today at the press conference, they wouldn't...
CFDO.
Chris, is obviously massive. You know, as you've been saying, 1.2 billion people in the world are waiting to see who their next leader will be. But of course, it's not just Catholics, it's people all over the world, because the Catholic Pope is a bit of a statesman. You remember...
fitting of the vestments, the choirs have sung and the bands have played and the people have arrived and now waiting for that moment. When we
right now, NASDAQ and the S&P holding on as
well. How's the stock market relating to the Pope?
They can pull it out.
All right, in today's closing bell exchange, we have Ed Batowski from Chapwood Investment, Larry...
You can see the flags of so many countries, including, frankly, countries that don't have cardinals, so they are not going to have a Pope from their country, but they are joined in this sense of excitement, of history, and of possibility, because I think everyone knows you don't have to be an American Catholic, you don't even have to be Catholic to understand the challenges that have faced the church.
He immediately stopped the session and made a joke about how we have white smoke, so obviously it's significant no matter where you are, no matter who you are. Let's get to Anderson Cooper. He's with the people who are expectantly waiting in St. Peter's Square. Anderson.
Yeah, that's right. And we've been talking with people a lot of people who have come from the United States who are here. I want you to meet Flavio, who's actually Italian, who lives in Rome. You heard there was white smoke. Tell me how you got here.
Well, I just took the car, took my mother, my friend, and...
This time and the last time is, of course, there was no period of mourning. No one has died. And on top of that, the last time, people...
That Pope, tens and tens of thousands of personal devices trained on that balcony right now, like any modern crowd would, Diane.
Yes, we can see some of them waving in the air. By the way, Vatican Radio reports that the Italian security forces are now saying over 100,000 people are in the square, and as we said, they are still pouring in. Cecilia
From their faith. You don't see that out here in this crowd right now. This is a very young crowd. There are a lot of families, but this is a young crowd. I'm standing next to you. You can see next to me this little boy who's
fallible. But in fact, the gift of infallibility, which means that he often misunderstood, is that he does not err in his teaching office.
Using this as a distraction. That's all you really do.
On exactly an hour
Basil,
since we saw
this is on every channel.
Reacting
and
to the
also
and how
being
long he chooses to remain in the room of
yeah. And this one guy has a ton of power to set precedent, or he says.
Have a new leader here. You see a
1.2 billion Catholics.
As well behind the curtain, Chris Matthews. This feels almost like the most extraordinary sporting event of all times here when you look at the crowd and their flags and the anticipation, but most of all, the happiness, the exuberance that's coming.
Human destiny.
Of course I agree with it. It's like...
that terrible leader of the Soviet Union.
Is that right? And this is what we're told is going to happen momentarily, by the way, folks. After the proto-deacon comes out and announces the Pope, the new Pope, we're told, will likely give greetings in several languages, and then will speak in his native language or
certain official duties. So you saw also a group of female activists who came to the first day of the conclave and let off that.
Is the protege, the first among the cardinal deacons, so he has the honor of kind of making the
Pope a Nazi?
The curtains are moving. We've arrived. We're there.
Yeah.
That's all I need to hear.
That is Cardinal Tehran.
Got sound problems. El Papo Papopu.
I announce to you a great joy. We have a pope.
We have a pope. A new pope. We got a new pope. Father Guido Sarducci. Habeas Papam means we have a pope.
Hopefully he's older than 90.
He looks like the baker. He looks like Tony the baker. There he is.
Received a lot of the votes there.
That's the Pope?
Cardinal Ratzinger. And then he said that this Pope has taken the name, the papal name, I believe, of Francis, which would be the first Pope who's taken the name Francis.
Pope Francis.
So Cardinal, and a lot of people thought that. I was just going to say he's from Argentina. He is 76 years old. But the fact that he is from Argentina is extraordinary. Yes, you have to understand the history that is being made here. 42%
Cardinal
of the world's
George
Catholics now
Mario
come from Latin America.
Bergoglio,
He did come in
Archbishop
by a
of Buenos Aires,
to Joseph Ratzinger at the last papal
1936.